Hi everyone, hope you're all well. My latest video this week is on what survived the winter in my garden. I think you'll be really surprised. We've had a cold winter this year on the Isle of Wight. It got down to -3 where I live, and in some parts of the island it had the coldest for about 26 years. So let's have a look and see what survived. Yeah, so first up, the front of the house. You can see the shamrocks and the aristia are perfectly fine. I've got a new echium. Obviously they're biennial, so I have to plant one each year. So they only live for 2 years. So here you can see the first casualty of the winter, my beautiful agave attenuata, one of the tender agaves. Unfortunately the cold did take out the top, as you can see. It's not completely dead. You can see some offsets coming back from the base, and there's some smaller buds on the other side too. I'm going to leave the dead stem for a bit longer and then prune back accordingly to the new buds at the top. So you can see here you've got the Agapanthus ventna hybrid. That's perfectly fine, along with the birds of paradise near the bird bath at the back. That's got some flower buds on there too. It's slightly affected by the cold, but not overly. Yucca, of course, that's completely hardy, and the polygala is surprisingly tough with those lovely purple pea-like flowers. I pruned back my Felicia amyloides Santa Anita, which is a kingfisher daisy, bright blue, just to let it grow back. And the campsis there, I've spur pruned that. I spur prune that every year, and that flowers in July and August, and that has orange-red trumpet flowers. So we've got gazanias. Those come through the winter. Well, 2 out of 3 did. So those are the 2 that did. Can't remember which colour's which at the moment until, of course, they flower. I just lost this middle one. But we've got some lampranthus here, which are starting to spill over the wall, which is exactly the look that I wanted. And those should be in flower, well, within the next month. There's actually flower buds, which are a bit tricky to see at the moment, but that is a flower bud there at the end. So we do have others here too. So some lampranthus there. I've recently planted the Lewisia, which are really fairly hardy as long as they've got good drainage, which we've got here. And as you can see, my stunning lampranthus orange is in bloom now. In fact, it's been in bloom for about a month actually, and they do flower from late winter into spring. But it's absolutely glorious, and it's difficult to pick up the glowing orange on my camera phone. Doesn't really do it justice. It's absolutely stunning. So some more lampranthus there, and some smaller ones, various colours. Obviously I don't know which ones are which at the moment. Got Aptenia here, Aptenia cordifolia, along with a little Sophis, so I'll take that out. That has like a rosy pink, almost ready pink flower. Obviously another succulent. And then Erigeron sea breeze. So if we just go around underneath the house. So last year I bought another bougainvillea. This is a purple flowered one, and it's just spent its first winter outside. So obviously I was a little bit worried about it, but being as I've got my other bougainvillea which survived last winter but one, that came through. I was quite hopeful this one would too, and if you look deep down there you may see some shoots directly from the base coming through, so I'm really happy with that. It seems that bougainvilleas, if left outside in the most sheltered parts of the UK for the winter, it seems to me that they will start growing in the last week of April or the first week in May at the earliest. So obviously this is growing in the last week in April, and last year my other bougainvillea, a pink one, that started growing the 7th of May, I noticed last year. So we've got this Caesalpinia Gillesii that's coming back nicely, so that's obviously survived. I don't think my Ruellia Brittonii did though, but I do have some spare ones. I've recently bought a kumquat, obviously a type of citrus with tiny edible fruits, so I've just bought that recently. That wasn't here in the winter, but this mangave did survive, along with Pelargonium and Licorianum, which should be in flower in the next month, which is the hardest Pelargonium, and also my Plumbago capensis with sky blue flowers that came through the winter no problem at all. Surprisingly, my Brunsfelsia came through the yesterday, today and tomorrow plant. I didn't expect that to come through a -3, but obviously it did. And also my Lantana did, amazingly. I have cut back the some of the dead stuff on the top, but yeah, I really didn't expect that to survive a -3, and that survived its first winter, because I only bought that from Cornwall last summer. And my Echmea has survived okay, along with my Tillandsia bergeri. Next to that I've got Jasminum polyanthum, the white flowered highly fragrant jasmine, normally grown as a house plant. Got battered around by the winds that we have here in the winter, so there's a bit of wind burn on the leaves, but as you can see it does have some flower buds on there which are highly fragrant by the front door, so that will be beautiful soon. Not the best looking of plants obviously, but obviously we'll have to flower, and I'll prune that back to the base, put in a better bamboo or better frame for it to climb up, and obviously it will start again and flower again next April, May. My Hardenbergia violaceum was absolutely stunning. It's the first time it's flowered for me with those lovely purple pea-like flowers. That, believe it or not, started flowering on Christmas Eve, and it put on 1.2 to 1.5 meters of growth, and soon I will be pruning that back to the base and let it regrow again, and then it will flower next winter into spring again. So here we've got Argyranthemum lolly, that's obviously just come into bloom. And then if we just look at the thermometer here, you'll see that is the temperature that it got down to, -3.1, and this is on a west facing wall, so quite chilly for the Isle of Wight obviously, especially in this area near Sandown. Got Dendrobium kingianum from Australia that flowered late winter, so that completely came through no trouble at all, along with a Tipushina and an Aeonium, so that survived -3 too, but against the wall. Here's my first bougainvillea, the pink one, that survived the winter before last and started regrowing on the 7th of May, and so I'm not expecting to see any signs of growth yet until that time this year. So obviously that's slightly later in growth than my purple bougainvillea that I've just showed you earlier. And what I'll do, like I did last year, I'll wait for it to grow strongly for about a month, and then I'll cut back all the dead to those strong shoots. Got here Jacaranda Bonsai Blue, doesn't look very good at all. It might have gone completely, we'll have to see in a later video. But the Salandra grandiflora looks like it did this time last year, so I'm hopeful that survived. Time will tell. And the Mandevilla, obviously it's died back to the base, which it does every year, but as you can see it's got some leaves from last year and some shoots as well, so that should recover quite well. Not so sure about the Rotheca Myricoides ugandense, which is the one with the beautiful blue butterfly flowers on there. Sadly I think I might have lost that one, but I'm holding on to it because you just never know, things can grow back really quite late. Epiphyllum survived amazingly outside, along with Mandevilla laxa. And my Kentia palm did as well, the Howia forsteriana. So most books will tell you it won't tolerate temperatures below about 10 degrees. Well, this has survived -3. I just cut off all the worst of the leaves, and all the shoots are coming back. I'll just take that brown frond off shortly too. The pelargonium there came through, along with the Tibushina, grapevine, black Hamburg, which I've still got to plant. In fact, I've got to plant all of these, and Musa Basdew, and I think I've covered the others already. So yeah, let's have a look at the back. Okay, let's look around the back garden then. So see my lotus banana, Musella laciocarpa, has come through the winter just fine. And amazingly, my Ensete Haniba, which is a rare Ensete, I bought this several years ago from Yorkshire Chris, has survived the winter outside. Unbelievable. In fact, all of my Ensetes have survived, -3. As you can imagine, I was a bit worried about them when it was white over with frost, but and that with no wrapping whatsoever. No covering, no straw, nothing. Absolutely incredible. So the Persicaria Red Dragon, of course, is hardy. I think I've lost one banana, at least. Well, in fact, there's two. The first one would be Musa sycamensis cross Parasitisiaca. So I think that's gone, but you never know, might grow back from the base. Stick that back in, and I'll wait a bit longer. Also amazingly was Calocasia white lava. That has survived. You can still see there's lots of green there, and there's some green shoots coming from the base. So that's obviously one of the elephant's ears. So that's survived, along with my Cycas revoluta, and a canna. I did buy it as Mrs. Oklahoma, but it's not that one. It's this one's a pink flowered variety. So this is the other banana that I've lost, Musa Moldberg, and of course this is definitely gone. You can see the old core has rotted away, and of course the roots would have done too. So that's gone. Of course, the Formium and the Cordyline are hardy, so they've come through. That's there. So I've got another Musa here that's come through okay, so which is great. I'm just trying to find the label for this one. I think it's no, I can't see it. Can't quite remember the name of that, unfortunately. So yeah. Look, cool. I've got a spider plant that came through, dies back to the ground and then comes back. And I've got some various aroids along here, so elephant seers. It's too early to tell if they've died or come back, and that's a same along here. That's a Colocasia esculenta. I'm trying to think of the name of that one. The black lead one, isn't it? Yeah. So that hasn't come back just yet, but we'll see. And then you can see the Tradescantia pallida purple heart is literally just growing back. Yeah. This Alocasia odora doesn't look very good, but again, it might come back from the base, but that could be one loss. The Musa arunchalensis we did get a little bit of rotting on the top of the trunk, so I had to cut back some of the trunk due to the winter wet, because it's a very wet winter. So I did chop off the top, so unfortunately the trunks are a little bit shorter, but yeah, still looking good. gladiolus bonfire came through. Along did my Puya cerulean. Also a Phacrea, which I planted only last year, which has a bit like an agave, but it has plantlets on the flowering stem. Sabal minor, and my one of my pride and joys, the Musa Helen's hybrid, which produces edible bananas, hopefully. Again, I had to chop off some of the trunk because some of the top rotted off. But I've gained, I've kept most of the height. So this is this trunk here is up to my shoulder, so probably just over 5 foot tall. And then the Curculigo Chrysopeus has come through, although the leaves did die back. And then amazingly, my Enseti Montbelliardii came through with no protection at all. So I didn't wrap any of my plants whatsoever, and you can see that they are doing really well. Various hardy Hemerocallis or daylilies, and then the Canna Jaegeriana and Canna Tropicana came through as well. So yeah, a few losses, but on the whole quite a lot survived. So I hope you enjoyed looking around to see what survived in my garden. I'm sure you were surprised with some of the things that did. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. So see you soon, guys. Bye.